Welcome to Same Cast, Different Day podcast. I'm Martel Rowland, and SMA is here with us, holding down the fort for, I guess, Old Man Theater. We have two special guests here with us. We have Jason and Dustin. How's it going?
It's going well.
Pretty good.
All right, so to start things off, Jason, you have a new project that's coming up soon. Now, before I got into my other stuff, I want to know what can we expect for some of those characters and when is it dropping?
Yeah. So Lonely Echoes, right now we have it on the books to start filming in May. And that depends on how our funding ends up. Right now we have an Indiegogo campaign going live. I think it's got about 15 days left in its campaign. And it's the third film in a 4-film series called the Alone Saga. It's I describe it as kind of like Seven meets Psycho. If you like both of those films, you will love this film. So it follows a detective named Kim Spencer. Her sister has gone missing, and she's looking and searching for what happened to her sister. She comes to like this small rural town, tries to connect with the local police department and try to figure out what happened to her sister. And in the process, she uncovers a whole bunch of crazy secrets that this town has.
Yeah, speaking of the Alone film, the one that did watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not expect that plot turn. That took a whole different turn that I did not see coming at all.
Well,
So,
good.
what when you were writing that, like, what came to mind? Like, yeah, nobody would suspect this person of doing these type of crimes.
Yeah, that was the main point when we first sat down to kind of come up with a cool concept of a short film that we could do with a small cast, not a whole lot of locations, something easy, and we really wanted a really cool twist like that, something people won't see coming, and then we added in the theme of being alone and kind of built that into the character and expanded it out into the world around her as well. And that's what we came up with.
That's nice. Dustin, so everybody can get to know you. Do you have any upcoming projects or anything you working on?
Um, Lonely Echoes. Let's see. There's another one that I might be getting, so I can't really talk about that yet. But it just depends on how they go with production. Um, yeah, I mean, in terms of films right now, it's pretty. It's with everything going on in the world right now, it's just kind of slow, but it's all good.
All right.
So, yeah.
So, question for the both of you. So what inspired you to get into the world of film?
Oh man, I just grew up watching horror films throughout the 80s. My parents and my family would go to the drive-in theaters. We'd watch double features in the back of our Chevy. Put sleeping bags and blankets and stuff down in the bed of the Chevy truck and just watch films and just fell in love with it. The storytelling. Um, I think that horror is the most pure genre. It's the most creative, and I love it. So
Mhm. Yeah, same for me. Honestly, I love the collaboration of different like fields of study. You have like a theater type, so you have like the acting, the stage production that gets
Mhm.
recorded. And then you have all the post-production stuff, and it's just this like amalgamation of different fields that like come together. And I started with wanting to be just like strictly just a violinist, like a professional violinist.
Mhm.
And then in college, a composer for a film was like, "Hey, can you play violin for my film?" And I was like, "That sounds awesome." So then that leaned me towards film. And then someone asked me, "Hey, you're a music guy. Can you compose some music?" And then I slowly kind of went through there. So for me, the biggest part is that collaboration, that working with people who have a passion for a certain field, and then you know making something happen. So yeah.
Ooh, that is nice. I didn't expect for a professional violin player, violinist. I did not
I
expect that.
I wouldn't say professional violinist. I'd
Mhm.
say I'm a solid amateur.
A solid amateur.
You know, yeah, I'm yeah.
Yeah, Dustin, he's awesome, man. He did the score for Alone, Masquerade, and also is coming back for Lonely Echoes to do the score for that as well.
So does you just do mostly like the music for part of the films, or do you actually like help with the scripts?
No, I don't help with the scripts like for Jason. I was just mainly scoring the films, and then
Okay.
for the next project, Lonely Echoes, what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to get like a life, orchestra, like a real life orchestra symphony, since I have those friends and those contacts and a
Mhm.
place to record it. And we're gonna, yeah, the music for Lonely Echoes is gonna be pretty good.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm getting excited for this already. um, so what keeps you motivated to keep going to do films? Because some people like get that block where they just stop, like, I don't want to do this. So what keeps you guys going?
Man, I have definitely experienced that, but for me, what really helps is meeting people like Dustin and just building this network of passionate, hungry filmmakers and just supporting each other. That really helps keeping me going.
Mhm. That's the same exact thing for me. Just like being able to bounce ideas, thoughts, different directions off of, like-minded people. It's this kind of thing that when you find people who are also passionate, you feel each other, and you help become like a support system. Sometimes like with the with Jason's crew, you become like a family. So that kind of thing really keeps that drive and motivation, because it's, for me, it's that collaboration with other people. So yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, so for people who are be listening or watching this on YouTube, what would you tell them, like how much patience is required going into this type of field?
A ton of patience. It's a process. Like you hear these stories about overnight successes, and let me tell you, those do not exist. The moment that some video goes viral or some song goes viral or something, it may seem like it's an overnight success, but you don't see the years of hard work, perseverance, and dedication that came before that moment. So yeah, you need a ton of patience, and um, you need to find ways to keep revitalizing yourself in your passion. And part of that is these connections with these other people and a support system of like-minded, passionate, strong people. And you just don't quit. You don't quit. You got to keep going.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like, I know for me, I've been scoring since like 2015,
Mhm.
just student films. And the biggest thing is just like making those contacts, because nothing's going to happen overnight. And as you do that, you'll find yourself growing and teaching yourself new things. Um, so that way, when a certain door opens or an opportunity, you'll be more prepared for that. Because sometimes people just want to rush into like being at that point, but maybe they're not ready for that point yet, personally, like a journey type thing. And you just have to keep pushing at it. And sometimes, you know, things just come together. Yeah.
Yeah, growth comes from consistency. If you try something,
Hmm.
you fail and you give up, you didn't grow. You have to push through that failure and keep going and be consistent at it. And that's where growth comes from is consistency.
Yeah.
That's good answers. So for Jason, for you, how do
Yeah.
you choose your cast when going into filming?
A lot of these, especially with this project, a lot of the characters were already pre-cast when I first came up with the ideas, because they stemmed from conversations that I had from actors who I knew from other projects.
Mhm.
And we're like, hey, what would your dream role be? And then they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, well, I got this kind of little bit of an idea, so let's just kind of funnel these characters into this idea and expand the world. But whenever there is a character that I need to cast that I don't already have an actor lined up for, I do have like audition process. I'll put out on Facebook here locally in the Arkansas Facebook film page. I'm looking for an actor. This is what I'm looking for. You saw Alone, Marilyn Knapp, the old lady. That's how I cast her. I put out an ad. I had 4 or 5 different people respond. They all sent me videos, and she was the one that I liked the best. So she got the role, and we developed her character together and went from there. And I thought she did fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, she did an amazing job. I'm not even gonna lie. Like because I think I had woke up about 1 o'clock this morning, and I had watched it again because I love that film that you did, especially her acting. And then one of the questions I had wanted to ask you, like the scene where they're by the well and she's doing her thing with the young lady. What was it like filming that? Like, what was going like? I wonder was like, what was going through her head while filming that scene?
The actor or the character?
The actor.
She was really excited about it.
Really?
She's the one that actually came up with the idea to sing the song, the lullaby.
Oh.
So yeah, that was all her idea. It wasn't in the script. And then actually from that, we actually went back to Dustin and we're like, hey, can you incorporate this lullaby into the score? And like, yeah, there's different parts where if you listen closely, you can kind of hear that lullaby throughout the film. So that actually turned into a really cool thing that we did through the whole film. But yeah, she loves horror films. She was very inspired by Kathy Bates from Misery. She took a lot from that role. And she was just really excited to do that scene. It was an intense scene. We shot that about 3 or 4 in the morning. Everyone was tired. But we got it filmed, and it was pretty good. I have gotten a lot of criticism from that scene actually. And it's from a lot of people are uncomfortable with the choking noises they're like, it lasts too long. But I did that on purpose because I put myself through some hard stuff, and I actually watched one night. I stayed up and watched like 4 or 5 hours straight of people just dying from asphyxiation, like just videos. And I didn't want it to be something that you could really sit through and listen through it and watch it. And I thought we did pretty good.
I thought I don't think that it was too long, because to me it drew me in more, and then at the same time it was like almost like waiting for like, let it be someone, it's like a glimpse of hope of somebody coming to save this woman, and it didn't happen. I was like, oh yeah. It hurt my feelings. Right. So
I wanted it to be rough. I wanted it to be hard to sit through, and I wanted people to kind of be like, please just die. Like towards the end.
So for people who are saying like it's their first film they're doing, and they cast somebody who's now difficult to work with, have you ever, what advice would you have for them?
I would say you typically find that out in the pre-production process, like when you first approach somebody and you cast them and you're in the process of like talking about the character and you're swapping ideas and you're developing the backstory of the character. In that process, you should find out if this person is hard to deal with or not. And if it's something that you don't think you guys can overcome together, then you just need to part ways and they're not right for the project and replace the actor.
Okay, good advice. How long does it take to write a screenplay?
Oh, it depends. I've had screenplays where I have an idea and I start on it and it just flows and I just run through it and it doesn't take very long, like 2 or 3 months. I've also had screenplays where I start the process and I get into the outline and stuff and I hit walls, and it takes a long time just to find that right inspiration to overcome the problem that I'm dealing with currently. So yeah, that just depends.
Jason, would you say that personal projects take the longest?
Yeah, definitely.
I get that vibe on that.
Yeah.
So,
It means much more to you, and you just want it to be so perfect and so right.
yeah, you get into a stage where you're more kind of like self-critical because you kind of know what you want to express, but you're just trying to find the right words, visuals, ways to communicate it. But yeah.
Yeah, that was actually going into my next question. Actually, for both of you, how do you know when it's ready?
For me, I have a small team. I have like some people that I trust because a lot of times I get too close to these projects, and so I like at every step of the development process with the script, I share it, and I have these people read it and give me their thoughts and stuff like that, and I feel like it's ready when almost everybody kind of agrees that this is really good and we need to move forward with it. So definitely rely on your team and trust them when you're too close to your project.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have the means to see a project to the end, you just need to set a due date. Like that's the biggest thing is just, if you have everything you need to get it done, like then you set that date and you stick to it. Yeah.
Alrighty. So Jason, while filming, how many changes have you made to a script?
A lot. I'm a very collaborative director. I really like to I'm not one that is like, hey, my idea is the best idea, we're doing it this way, or hit the highway, or like if we're into the process and somebody has a good idea, I'm completely open with that. There have been times when here's a good example. Last October, we were in Kentucky and we're shooting a Friday the 13th fan film called Voorhees Night of the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in this scene and this character saying this line, and I call cut and I stop it, and I'm like, that line, it's not hitting for me. It's not resonating to me. It's not something that I feel like your character will say. Because when you get into the process and you start to see these characters, like it's one thing to read it on paper, but it's another thing to be watching an actor bringing it to life. And then it's like, okay, now you have more of a sense of who this character is. And now she's saying this line, or no, it's actually a guy. This guy saying this line that just doesn't feel right for that character. And then, so I'm like, I asked him, I was like, hey, does this line feel right to you? Like, is this something that your character would say? And he agreed with me. He's like, no, like I didn't feel comfortable with saying it. It's not something that I feel like that he would be saying at this moment. And the line, I actually gave it to another character whose character fit that line better.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what about you? Is this something that she would say? And she's all like, yeah, man, I'm very sarcastic. I'd definitely say this. And so we just moved, like we gave the line to another character and it flowed so much better. It made the scene, honestly. But there's stuff like that. When you get to a location, you might have to change something. It might not be exactly how you envisioned. So you just have to be adaptable and be open to other ideas that might be better than what you have, and also just kind of flow with your just be present in your environment, because things change and you gotta adapt to it. You can't try to force what you have on the page if it's not going that the way it's on the page. You got to be able to maneuver and adapt and keep the production going. So yeah, I've changed the script quite a bit.
Okay, so that brings me to a question. When you are putting the films together, do you start with the structure of it first, or do you start with the scenes?
Do I start with what first?
Like structuring it, do you start with structuring it first, or do you just start writing out like the scenes first?
I like to start with an idea first.
Okay.
And then from that idea, I expand a character. It's like, okay, what character would be in this position? And then once I have a character that I like, then I try to inject some kind of universal theme into the character that a large portion of the audience can relate to. And then from that theme, I build the story. And I have a structure at that point. I write shoot, what's the word? An outline. And once I have an outline, I'm beginning, middle, and end, and I know exactly where we're going, then I'll start writing the script from the outline.
All right. Dustin, so for you, when you're doing a scoring or the scoring, when you work on a particular scene, like what is your process for it?
So my process is sometimes I'll get the script first. So I'll read through the script. That'll give me some ideas. But I can't necessarily stick to any certain things because, you know, sometimes they change. So usually when I get the first draft of like the rough draft of the film is when I dissect it. So I watch the whole thing, see how I'm feeling, you know, in general. And then I dissect it into the different bits. Like, okay, who's the main character in this story? Like you can have the person who's like following along, but who are the key people or person that the story is focused towards? And then you think about their perspective on how they're taking it in. So once you kind of like analyze the different parts, you know, and try to get to know, then I'll maybe talk with, you know, Jason, and we'll kind of go over and I'll be like, is this what you were wanting? Okay, cool. Oh, that's not what you're wanting. And then we find like a middle ground. And then, you know, I'll go through and think of the soundscapes. You know, is this more like a techno realm, or is this like, you know, detective? I don't know. And then for Alone, in that one, there was a lot of kind of it was like ambiguity, you know, in terms of like things not being on the surface. So that's what I wanted to display through there. Hence the melody and the sound having this kind of intertwining chromaticism to it. You know, it's like this creeping along, like something's brewing or developing. So that's usually how I'll go through a film.
Okay.
Yeah, for Alone, I actually sent Dustin, like I had every single scene kind of broken down and kind of how I wanted the audience to feel for each scene. And then when I saw what he did with that, I was like, dude, you're freaking awesome. So for Masquerade, I didn't do that for Masquerade with him. I pretty much told him, look, I trust you. You can have all the creative range that you want. Just do what you think with Masquerade. And again, it turned out awesome. So.
Well, and also it's a lot easier when you have a vision that you can see, like, you know, that someone has thought about some of these different things and, you know, they communicated it to the actors and the crew, and it's all there. So really my job as the film composer is to translate everything that they put in as sound, as music, you know, to enhance be it, you know, kind of this main theme that everybody's like hearing, or if it needs to be more subtle on the surface, on like subsurface, kind of just like, you know, just a blanket for everything else. So yeah.
Because speaking of Masquerade, I was actually about to go into Masquerade.
Did you watch that one too?
I did, and
yes. When you said that you watched Alone, I was worried that you didn't watch Masquerade.
Yeah.
No, I definitely watched it, and I don't know where you got the idea from, or the Sylvia character. Where did the crazy come from with the Sylvia character? Because I was like mind blown, and I wasn't expecting that turn either.
Yeah. So again, like I mentioned earlier, how a lot of the actors that I had already had them in mind for these characters. Well, Olivia and Sylvia is one of the main examples of that. Samantha is another one, but who played Kat in Alone. But for Olivia, we were sitting at a breakfast or a dinner with a whole bunch of other actors and directors in Birmingham at an Olive Garden, and we are just going around the table talking about our dream roles. And it came to her, and she's all like, "Man, I just want to play like this batshit crazy character that is just absolutely insane, but you can't help but like her. Like you kind of feel weird about liking her." And some of her examples were Harley Quinn and Baby from the Rob Zombie movies, House of a Thousand Corpses and Three from Hell and Devil's Rejects, that character. And so I was like, let's do it. And so that's where the idea for Masquerade started. And then I took that she wanted to play this crazy character, and I was like, well, what can we do with a character like that? And then I was like, well, let's make her this supermodel who is just crazy, but using her looks and her profession as a mask to hide what the monster that she actually is. And so we took that idea and just expanded it into this story, that theme, expanded it. The theme runs through the whole movie. Every character is either figuratively or literally wearing a mask. So yeah, that's how that came about.
So for the Sylvia character, was it your idea or her idea to make it like after she murdered these people that, oh, these are now my friends in my head type situation? That was your idea? How did you come up with that? Because at first I was confused. I'm like, wait, I thought she killed him, but now he's standing right there. And I was like, oh, I get it.
I don't know. I just I was writing that scene, and I was like, man, it'd be cool if she, like, we saw another layer here, because we were in the, like, I was getting into the torture scene, and I'm like, if we can just show another layer of her craziness here, how can we do that? And I had a bunch of different ideas, and then that one popped up. I was like, what if like she just starts seeing Clint and starts talking to him, and they don't react to him, and it's just another facet of her mind. And then from there, I'm just like, okay, so then she kills people, and then she creates like this weird version of them in her mind that she keeps as friends like forever. And that's, yeah, and we went from there. We did it again at the end with Bailey, or Lizzie, the girl with the umbrella at the end who she tortured. We're doing a lot more with this character going forward in Lonely Echoes, and then in the fourth one, Unmasked. So there's more of that stuff.
Oh, because that was an amazing film, by the way.
Thank you.
Because sometimes, like, I normally need somebody to watch horror films with me, because sometimes I might have a nightmare or two, but I'm like, no, this was really good. And it was well written. Everything went perfect with that film.
Appreciate that.
So speaking of, so the Friday the 13th is fan film, right?
Yes.
That you're making. Okay. So can you tell us a little more about that? I know at the end of the trailer, I believe I watched, and it says it's coming out in May.
We were planning on it to come out in May, but we recently had a bit of a tragedy in our film family. The editor and my producing partner in it, his name is Jason Mansfield. He recently suffered a stroke, and he's currently in the hospital. So the chances of us making that May 13th deadline are not very good now that has happened. So I don't know when it's going to come out, but I can talk about the film. It takes place, if there's any Friday the 13th fans out there, it takes place between Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. And it is an origin story for Creighton Duke, one of my favorite characters in the franchise from Jason Goes to Hell. It tells the story of his first encounter with Jason. And it also happens to be a Jason versus Bigfoot movie.
Wow. Wait. A Jason versus Bigfoot movie.
Yes.
Was that your idea?
Yes. Well, the person I mentioned earlier, Jason Mansfield, we came up with that idea together. When I first decided I wanted to make a Jason fan film, I put out into the universe. I was like, hey, I'm making this movie. Anyone want to help? And he was one of the first people to respond. He's like, man, I'd love to help. And he is really big into Sasquatch and paranormal stuff. And I was just like looking through his Facebook one day, and I just noticed all of these Bigfoot costumes that he has, and just all this stuff. And I'm like, hey, what do you think about doing a Jason versus Bigfoot movie? I was like, I mean, I'm a huge Jason fan. I can handle the Jason stuff to make sure he's treated correctly. You can handle like the Bigfoot stuff to make sure that any Bigfoot fans out there are happy with that and how that's portrayed, and that's done correctly. And it went from there.
Okay, because when I was watching the trailer, like, because I didn't know the other character was Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, wait, did they add Freddy into this too? So I was like, it was looking like, I was kind of like, is this going to be like a crash of like a whole bunch of like horror characters like from that we know of from past horror movies? I'm like, I need it.
We've been trying to we've been publicizing that Bigfoot is in it, and it's a Jason versus Bigfoot movie, but we've been trying to keep pictures of Bigfoot off secret, kind of. He is in the film, but he's got like there's letters all over his face, and then like a blood splatter, so you can kind of see him but not really see him really well. So
I'm praying for your partner's recovery on this project.
Thank you.
I'm waiting. I'm going to definitely be looking for when this project drops, because I need the conclusion to this now, especially with the whole Bigfoot being put into there. So speaking of the supernatural angle, do you think that in the future you'll be seeing us doing something similar to like how the Supernatural TV show went?
It's a possibility. I mean, I love Supernatural, but I mean, I don't have anything on the books that is anything like that right now. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything.
All right, for you, Dustin. So, did you do the scoring for the Friday the 13th movie?
No, just Alone in Masquerade. Yeah.
Okay, so what other projects besides the one you couldn't talk about that you have you done?
Like in the past?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot. One of my first films that I did was Aveline, and it was by this girl Mackenzie and Hannah, these two girls that were collaborating. And let's see, I mean, there's a ton. Okay. I have them on my Instagram, like just like 1 minute bits, and then I need to make an updated reel, but I've done like 30 short films in the past 5 years.
Okay.
So yeah, and all for free also, because just love collaborating. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So follow me on Instagram and you'll see like some highlighted ones that did well at like film festivals here in Arkansas. I work with a great Spanish producer, Paula, and she's had a couple films that have gone like overseas to Spain and around. So yeah,
I love Paula. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's great. Awesome.
Alrighty.
Hey, what was the one project you did with Shayna Klein? Because she was the one that first told me about you.
Yeah. We were working together with Chris Towley, and he was doing his own kind of like TV series. He did a pilot, and I scored for that. It was called Disconnected.
That's right.
And we met on that set, and then she knew Jason, and then recommended me to Jason, being like, hey, here's a film composer, she probably said some good things, I hope.
She did.
Know. Okay, cool. And yeah, and then we clicked and worked on our projects. So yeah.
Alrighty. So before I let you guys go, Dustin, can you tell people where they can find you on social media and where can they book you at?
You can find me. I post a good amount on Instagram. So just Dustin Yoder, probably 96 because I was born 96. But yeah, you'll see my face. If you can't find me, you could probably find Jason. Look under his friends and find me there. I use Instagram. Like, just shoot me a message, an inquiry. Be like, hey, I need a composer or something.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
All right, Jason, you want to let the people know where they can find you at, or book
Sure.
some special events with you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. There's a lot of Jason Pitts, but you'll find me. I'm also on Instagram, jason.steven.pitts on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I think it's Jason-Pitts or underscore on Twitter. So you can search me on TikTok. I've done a little dumb TikTok videos recently. I have a YouTube channel. Again, you can just search Jason Pitts on there. I did recently take Alone off of there. It's no longer public, it's private again. It's starting to get picked up by some streaming services, which is fantastic. You can watch Alone now on Plex. It's a free streaming service, and it got picked up by Tubi recently. It's not available on Tubi yet. It's in the process. They're in the process of uploading it and it being ready. So that's going to happen soon. But they did pick it up, which is awesome.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. And Masquerade is currently at the beginning of its film festival run. It's going to go throughout the rest of the year. I think we still have 40 or so festivals to compete in. And to date, we've won 11 awards, 5 best horror shorts, 2 best directors, 1 best acting, 1 best screenplay. And so it's doing pretty good.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All righty. So Jason and Dustin, thank you all. Well, thank you for coming and talking with me and the crew. That's the other 2 that's over there. Make sure you guys go check them out on social media, and make sure you go check out them films when you get a chance to.
The Indiegogo, Lonely Echoes. We really need a lot of support there.
Yeah, I will be posting link. There'll be a link in the description of the video and audio version. So make sure y'all go down and click on that link to support that. So once again, thank you both for coming on.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Wait, why would you, as soon as I'm about to click, you say Juicy for what?
What? Wait a minute now, shit. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. Old Man Theater, according to everybody, gas is still too damn high. We just want to get that out the way too.
But it then went down a little bit. I can't complain as much as I did last week. I found something for $3.69.
Okay, that's a big difference.
When I was paying $4.70 something on the road. So that's $1 cheaper.
That is $1 cheaper. Somebody's doing something right somewhere that is going down. They said in Chicago, somebody was getting away. Was it $200,000 worth of gas or something like that? I think when my mom was watching the news earlier.
That's what I guess all the people call their stuff trying to drive their asses down there. What the fuck you gonna drive down there and get the gas and waste all that gas coming right back home?
Because I think, but the max you could get was $50 in gas, so free gas.
I'll stay my black ass down home, but I got $50 in my day.
So, Old Man Theater, what news did you have for the people?
About what's his name? Juicy Fruit, Julicious.
Juicy Smooth.
Julicious. Bye. Theo.
Smooth Young. Oh, and I talked to your mama today too.
Who, really? Mammy?
Yeah. But anyway.
Oh.
Who mama mine?
You know who I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. You talk to mine. You said you talk to your mama. Okay.
Yeah. Not well. Me and Montreal mama already talked. We getting him somewhere in a cold place. We're gonna
they'll see your ass in the middle of the artist.
He's cool, but I heard that they got him out.
Yes, Juicy Smouye is free. So I had saw some earlier in the day today or yesterday where they were talking about uh they they were going to deal with expecting for him to be released pending some type of investigation or something like that. And then right before the recording, you had sent me the thing, and it was like, oh, he's free from jail pending I guess something about an unconstitutional charges that was brought against him, and there will be an investigation. So it's still he still might have to serve some jail time. It just depend on what the investigation brings.
I'm sorry. I think that he should serve some, at least all of it. I mean, everybody else
What's
is,
the thinking?
he fucked up. He lied. He know that he lied, but
I mean, but
He did a
but
whole.
some
He did a. He did
but
a lie.
if some but
He
even if it
manipulated
was
people.
a less famous person, they still a person still would have the option whether to pay the restitution or a fine or face or do the jail time. So I feel like if he paid the restitutions and the fine, he should just walk free.
no, they still had that on there with it, man.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like just as I know that it's been situations where people have had the option whether to pay money or go to jail, basically. So I was saying, like after their investigation, and they say, "Oh, well, we just want him to pay the restitution," and then okay, who got who I don't know, hearing myself through somebody's microphone.
Okay.
But yeah, they know. I'm just saying, like, if they say, like, at the end of their investigation, they say, "Oh, well, we just want him to pay the restitution and the fine," and then that's it. Then I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't.
So what? How many years is they talking about sentences?
It's only like what 150, like 5 months.
I thought you said 100 and something. I thought you spent 100 some years. I was like, oh no.
Honestly,
5 months. He can sit his ass in there 5 months. He be out.
I
He been
feel
sitting
like
there long.
he
He
done
can finish it off. Shit.
he done took up valuable time, even though majority of the police is still crooked as hell. But he took up valuable city time and people time when somebody could have been somewhere getting murdered or something like that while they running around here who the hell then Jack dude or who didn't or whatever have you. That's man, that ain't what we paying taxes for.
So the family did put out a statement, and they saying that the police or the judge, the public perception of him, they want us to believe that it was a hoax. And from what the family is saying, apparently the police officers and interviewed somebody after it all happened, and the man said that he did see two white men running off. So whether,
but it was two black guys they got charged for. Well, they went to jail for.
Yeah, so what they were saying was, so the family was like the two black guys who got who were originally arrested for it. They saying that the police used certain tactics, which is basically party stardom or try to do bad cop, good cop type thing, to get them to confess to something they didn't do. Or to tell the story that they gave, is what the family is saying.
Yeah, but it would be somebody that he played a part with or knew or whatever. How would they know that? I don't get it.
Well, how did they know that the police officers would starve the guys, or
how did they know? Because supposedly, wasn't he supposed to be have some kind of affair with one of them on behind the scenes or something? Whatever the name of that show was.
Empire. I don't.
Yeah.
So
like
the judge painted the perception that these two black guys saw Jesse as an opportunity to get into like movie roles or make it into that world. Oh my goodness, I'm getting some bad feedback. To get into that world of film or whatever, and So that's the whatever that's what the judge painted the perception of. They was basically trying to use Jesse to get into movies and TV and all this other kind of stuff. And Jesse preyed on their basically on their innocence and paid them money to do such acts. And the family is saying that there's a whole nother different story to this, and there's a lot that the public or the police officer did not release to the public about the case. And during the trial process and everything, the family has been putting out stuff and putting stuff out there and presenting, I guess, as in a way, presenting evidence that a whole different story happened. So now it's basically the evidence and the story that they were able to put up versus what the public, what the judge and the public and the public defender, not the public defender, what they call the prosecutor painted for us. So it's almost like almost like they trying to paint him as a criminal, like he's the worst of the worst. They basically just trying to make it seem like he was just a horrible person, is what they tried, the judge and the prosecutor and all these people tried to paint him as. And the family is like, no, this isn't him, and we have evidence and we have this to show that what they're saying is not what happened. So it's almost like a wait and see on what's going to go on at this point.
Eventually, they gotta bring the evidence to the table.
Yeah, and I think what the family is trying to do is get video evidence of the actual interrogations that they did do with the two young men that the police refused to make public.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Oh my God. Yeah, I am having so many audio issues. If y'all hearing audio issues during this recording, y'all, I am so sorry.
Sound like you eating something. Something eating you.
You said what?
Sound like you eating something or something is eating you.
What do you mean somebody's eating me? I sound horrible?
No, it just sound like crunching.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But I'm like, I don't know what's going on. That's what I'm like, I don't know if it's me or.
That's what you gotta figure it out.
Well, I don't hear none of that.
I'm adjusting my levels right now, but okay, it seems to be not doing it right now. So we got it. It doesn't do it. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. So on the last episode, I have forgot to mention this. And Old Man Theater forgot to remind me. We got to send prayers to our homie Big E.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Big E is a WWE superstar who was performing in a match, and it was supposed to be a belly to belly maneuver, and there go that damn sound again. God damn it.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be performing a belly to belly maneuver. He's supposed to be the one that's in the maneuver. What is going on?
Mm-hmm. Is it your hair?
Okay, we're switching the channels. Is that, can y'all still hear it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's still doing it?
No.
Okay. So he was supposed to be performing this belly to belly maneuver. So somebody supposed to be doing a maneuver on him, and it's still doing it. Some bitch.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know how to fix this. Okay, wait. Let me unhook my microphone real fast. Why the old people ain't talk?
Shut up. What the hell you call it old?
So he was supposed to be performing. Yeah, I'm hearing the echo. Like I'm hearing like my voice come through somebody else's microphone. Is what it sounds like. Just want technology to work. Okay. And basically, he got tossed over somebody's shoulder like this. He's supposed to go over the head, almost like a German suplex, but from the front. And he let it neck first, and damaged it. Huh?
More or less top of the head first.
Yeah, and damaged his C6 and C1 vertebrae.
So he
So
can't 9 or 5'8" and 3'2" right now.
there, like I said, they did report there be no surgery needed. Oh my God, what is going on?
We can hear you majority. You know, it's just a little sound. I mean, you good. We can still hear you. We'll hear what
I don't want it to sound horrible in people's ear though.
It ain't sounding horrible in my ear. I don't give a shh. You sound horrible.
And then it's weird because like I'm hearing it through my ear things too. So I was like, where was I? Oh yeah, so yeah, Drew McIntyre did go to the hospital and said Big E was in big spirits. He was happy. He's not upset about anything that the whole situation right now. They just basically like, hey, stuff happens. It's live TV. It's sports entertainment. So, Old Man Theater. What happened?
Life is a bitch. Oh. Oops, my bad.
Damn, how you gonna say? Damn.
Old Man Theater, why can't you just behave for one day?
Right.
I try.
You trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take care of something for me tomorrow too. Your girl up in MIC was trying to get with me today.
Are we talking about? Never mind, I ask you about it later.
You know what I'm talking about? You always get with her.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm
I don't believe you. I said, yes, he is. I said, I'm finna text him right now. Tell him that you down here. You over here by me and you trying to lap dance with me. And you know she. I said, I'll already hit him with it. He taking care of you tomorrow. I ain't gonna run.
Yeah, she did a
But yeah, one be starting there on the 28-second shift.
I told you to tell them don't do it.
That was before I know what my niece had told me about it. And then I seen her FaceTiming her mama today, and I'm like, oh Lord. I tell my they ain't got a hold to the last name yet. I said, I hope they don't. I said, just don't say nothing.
That is so sad.
It is.
So speaking of, y'all, that latest edition of Rose Check-In is available on my TikTok and my personal Facebook page. Make sure y'all go check that out. Show us a poll, like it, because we need Rose. We need to get Rose to go viral.
We need to get her on there. She was doing it like Stevie.
Yeah, I had posted the extended version like an hour or two ago.
I seen that part too. Then you had Goofball sitting to the side just smacking, eating and stuff.
That he was. Oh my God. So that's pretty much been our episode. Old Man Theater, as usual. You got any advice for the people?
Stay single. Oh.
You got a flashback. You got a flashback.
Did you take your old man meds?
No, I didn't take the meds. Follow your first mind, maybe your second, whichever one tell you the best or that you're hearing the most out of, stick to that.
Mind. Oh, your first mind.
You know.
Heifer SMA / soon to be OnlyFans Star of the Year. What you got for the people?
Not OnlyFans. Well, what I got for the peoples is watch your damn kids, because kids are smarter than we are. Things are more efficient. They got more connections to get shit that we never had or never thought of getting. Watch the children's. That's all I got.
Hell, I'm a smart kid. I got what I want when I needed what I want, and I gave back what I didn't want.
We in two different generations.
I know. Papa was
Right.
a stone. Wherever I lay my hat was my home. But when
That's bad.
oh, all that, huh?
Lord
know
have
that. That's bad.
mercy. As always,
Mm.
people, we got the deals for y'all. If y'all trying to find some new clothes and stuff, make sure y'all head over to habits365.com and use code Anthony Ford. Receive 20% off your purchases. Head over to repsports.com and get you some energy drinks, some protein shakes, some pre-workouts. Like old man Theater need him some energy drinks, some energy stuff. Make sure y'all help him out.
That one soda crush. Oh,
Lord have mercy.
And then you ain't got it no more. It's that motherfucker go.
Right. Use code
You ain't got it no more.
use code Martel1 to receive 10% off your purchase.
Ain't no more.
Right.
and check out Still Hungry Grill. He's on all social media. Holla at him. Let them know that you heard about him through Same Day, Different Day podcast.
What podcast is that?
I can't pronounce nothing right now. I'm sorry.
And don't forget to head over to bearskin.com, bearskn.com, and use code Anthony B to receive 5% off your purchases. People, make sure y'all have a clink clink moment. This has been Same Cast Different Day Podcast, the #1 podcast for Gen X, millennials, and Gen Zs. Y'all have a good night, people, and we'll see you all on Thursday.